Welcome to Smart Arm Solutions. Today we're looking at a rather interesting pistol. It's not something that I normally would take a look at because I'm generally more looking at more towards military law enforcement grade weapons. But at some point, I do like to take a look at more of affordable pistols that are more that are more common that you don't have to sell your firstborn to be able to purchase. This particular pistol is made by a company called Girsan. Girsan is a company out of Turkey. Those of you who follow modern firearm sales, you're seeing a lot of guns coming out of Turkey. Pistols, shotguns, everything. There are multiple companies in there that are putting out some fairly high-quality pistols. Girsan is a company that I've been taking a look at because they had offered some versions of the Beretta 92 series and some 1911s that I had been interested in taking a look at, but I just never had any contacts with them. Maybe 6 months ago, a gentleman from Girsan actually contacted SAS, and they said that, we have a new pistol. Would you be interested in taking a look at it? So, basically they told me it was a copy of the Beretta Model 84, and as you guys know, I'm a big Beretta fan, so they sent me one of their new Model MC14G84s, and here it is. Now, again, if you look at other guns that are out there, you'll see versions like Taurus, which basically built off of Beretta machines, that were down in Brazil. They were the original designs, for instance, of the 92. This one here is not built off of the same machines, but it was built off of the exact same weapon as the original Beretta Model 92. Now, the original Beretta 92 did not have a decocker, which is one thing that this thing does not. This has a manual safety, but it does not have a decocker. This can be carried cocked and locked, or if you take your safety off and you ride it forward just until it releases, and you want to release the trigger before it goes forward because it does have a passive firing pin block, and you can lower the hammer, and you can carry it double action mode. So you when you fire, long drawn double, then it'll come back and it'll be single action. So again, that was sort of a surprise when looking at this that they didn't go with a decocking model. But whatever you like. However, the rest of the gun, on the other hand, is nearly identical to that of the Beretta Model 84. Right down to its 13-shot magazine. The magazines, I am not aware of them being compatible with the Beretta magazines. It's not something that I've tried. I don't have any Beretta 84 380s. In fact, for the ammunition, I thank Glenn over at GNE. He's my FFL and SOT who supports my channel. Fortunately, he had some 380 ammunition available, so he was able to get me 100 rounds for us to do some test firing with this. So we took it out and we'll see how it would work. So let's take a closer look at this. Again, you have more of a dark finish on it. This is a two-tone. They do have complete black ones. You do have a larger grip than you would have on the Beretta. This is a little more full. Somebody with smaller hands probably would want something a little bit narrower than this. Now, this is what you would more so call a midsize. I would not call this micro by no means. If you were to compare this to an AMT backup or some of the new smaller Glocks or whatever, this is generally it is larger, it's heavier, and it fires a smaller caliber. We have single action cocked and locked, or if you manually wanted to press the trigger, pull the trigger, release the hammer, release the trigger so it can safely ride forward, and you can carry double action. Again, your safety will engage with it like that as well. Now, unlike some of the Beretta series, if you drop the magazine on this one, it will still fire. The Beretta 84 series, 85 series have a magazine disconnect where this one does not, which in many ways is considered a benefit to the pistol. You have the typical Beretta open slide design. Again, this has been a trademark of Beretta, having open slide design, because it does many things. It also offers very minimal opportunities to have a failure to eject. Most of the time, failures to eject can be in the hood of the slide, or just from it not being able to open up far enough. This, on the other hand, with everything's being open, there's nothing for it to catch on. And the other nice thing about this design is the way the round feeds into the chamber. It generally goes directly into the chamber. It doesn't really have to go up a feed ramp. So that's also a design inherent to it as well. Now you have a 3.8-inch barrel. This is a standard barrel. This is not chrome line like the Beretta you expect. And the finish on here is more of a blackened type finish. It's not like the Beretta Bruton. It's very, very different. You do have, like your Beretta, a live cartridge indicator. The extractor will stick out, and you'll either be able to see the red or you'll be able to feel it. You have your slide release on the left-hand side, which again is a slide release. Now, loading these pistols is something interesting when people like to do it, because for a lot of, especially females, they have a hard time pulling that back because it's extremely heavy spring, because it's a blowback operation. The best way I found to do it is I grab from the front where I can actually grab a hold of it and pull back and lock it open to the rear. To me, the best way to load it is to lock the slide open to the rear, drop the magazine, and then hit the slide release. That's the easiest way to operate it for somebody who may have a hard time pulling back the slide from the rear that will slip on you. You have a 3-dot sight system, removable rear only. The front is part of the slide. The frame, you have an aluminum frame on it. Again, composite grips, overall length of 6.8 inches with a 1.4 pound overall weight. Two-tone black gray finish. So then what we're doing now is we'll take this to the range and we're going to see how it shoots. Now, we had 100 rounds of ammunition that was provided by Glenn. It was MagTech ammunition. It was a 95 grain full metal jacket, and we had no malfunctions of any sort. In fact, it was quite accurate. We only shot probably at about 10 yards or so, and I shot very, very well with it. You know, 380 is what many experts will claim is the absolute minimum you would want as a self-defense cartridge. You know, I can tell you from time as a forensic scientist, you know, we've seen a lot of homicides and a lot of shootings where targets were taken down with, 22s and 25s. But when you want to look at the reality of terminal performance, I definitely would say 380 is the minimum that you would want because you have a potential for a jacket hollow point to open. For me, on the other hand, I tend to want to say 9mm by 19 or 9mm Luger, Parabellum, or NATO, whatever you want to call it, is the minimum that I generally tend to prefer. When you have lower velocities like this, you have less of an opportunity for your hollow points to open up correctly. In order to make a hollow point open up, you do have to have velocity. That's why with a lot of 45 autos that are lower velocities, you will have sometimes under certain conditions, like heavy clothing and stuff, you'll have a difficult time for the projectile to open up. You generally need velocity to get them to work better. So I tend to particularly like the 9mm over the 380. Now, however, 380, there's a lot of excellent rounds that are out for it. You have gold dots. You have the HST. There are several good bullets. I think with a lot of the modern ammunition that's out there, you make up for a lot of the issues, the shortcomings that you have in the past, making 380 probably a more viable caliber. Overall, for this size of a gun, there's not a lot of 380s out there that I would say you could actually target shoot with. Those guns are smaller. They're smaller springs. They're not nearly as durable as reliable. They're not what you call target guns. However, this gun, just like the original Beretta series, these are a 3D automatic you can actually target shoot with. The only thing you want to do is replace this. You probably want to replace your recoil spring every couple thousand rounds or so, just because this thing really relies on the recoil spring for its operation and to keep the gun from damaging itself. So I would do that. Now, for as far as the cost is concerned, again, you're looking at $397. You look at most higher end pistols, you're looking well, into the fives and ups for you to get into a good reliable pistol. I only shot this thing with ball ammunition. In ball ammunition, it was 100%. Accuracy was 100%. If you're looking for a 3 automatic in a lower price bracket than some of the other ones, this is certainly something good to look at. For as far as the Turkish pistols I've seen, throughout my career, more of them are coming up more recently. And they tend to be pretty good quality. Some of them like this are more of the outdated designs. Again, outdated meaning the fact it doesn't have the decocker on it. But for as far as being a double action, single action pistol that does work reliably and something that you can actually use for a defense pistol, this does fit that bill. So if you guys are looking for something along that lines, take a look. We also thank our friends over at Challenge Target. As you see, we are shooting at our Challenge Targets. We only shoot on paper when we want groups. We shoot steel for war. Steel is much more of a reactive target. You get immediate feedback. It's much better for training for a self-defense condition because your target's not going to be wearing a bullseye. So these targets are, I think, a lot more. They're a lot better for you for as far as being able to train more realistically. You can check those guys out. You can save 10% off any steel targets. Just use the code SAS. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please click like, please subscribe, even better share.